Market conditions majority bullish here. S&P futures down about 0.5% so far this morning, and we've really had this tight consolidation inside of this range between this upper supply location and this lower demand location, still above the 236 location in this current bull market trend that we've been experiencing on the daily time frame. Majority bullish. It's been ticking back and forth between 13 and 14. Still overall bullish, holding that momentum zone, just consolidating right here as we really haven't had any real big catalysts, at least over the last week or two. We'll see if this week is any different. The weekly time frame still looking bullish here. Let me just grab that swing low point right down here, and you can see this on S&P 500. These were the all-time highs, and we're getting rejected at the bottom end of that range right here. And we'll see if we can hold that up, or if we just consolidating sideways across the board, building up some bullish demand for a press higher. If we can break through that 6,000 range and even break through that 6150 range, take us to new all-time highs, we might see some continued follow through in the markets right here. S&P 500 closed out at 14 and 14 on Friday. Breadth of the market sitting at 70, so 80 being the upper end of that range, sitting at 70, drop back down to that 60 range. Weekly time frame, the upper end here, you can see also at 80. That can hold, so we've still got some bullish momentum, just kind of quiet right here, entering into the summer months. And we just really haven't had a lot of discussion on tariffs, things like that. That can change any minute with a tweet that might come out at any time can move the market. These are kind of our current standings in the market. VIX right here at 19, just below 20, still majority bearish on volatility, which is bullish for stocks. That also can happen relatively quickly, but we're still inside of a bullish context with volatility. SHY, we're seeing a gap lower on bonds this morning. Some discussion over the last few days and weekends from Jamie Dimon about the bond market really breaking and cracking. Some interest here, certainly in the bond market. We're seeing that trend still holding at 14 and 0 on the daily. For SHY, that's the 2-year yield, pushing 4%, 392, and that is majority bearish at 12 on the daily and at 9 on the weekly time frame here as well. So we're seeing the overall trends currently, short-term and long-term, still bearish, still moving lower with some bullish volatility right here. We'll see if that holds up. Long into the yield curve, TLT still majority bearish at 14 weekly and 12 daily. We've had this real extended move now where we get this expansion of trend. This becomes unsustainable. We come back to compression again, and we really just haven't had a lot of movement here in TLT. If we take a look at that 10-year yield, that's actually spiking this morning at 1% and 440. We'll see if that holds up as well. Majority bullish on rates. So that TLT, that 10-year yield, still bullish, and could see even more upside. That this is quite a bullish continuation pattern on this weekly time frame. It really feels like that pressure could push us to that 5% range as we're getting a new high here on the weekly. We're going to run into some resistance up this upper range if we move up to that 464.70 range, and markets so far are absorbing these levels. Dow Jones Industrial Average pre-market 421 and 413 for the 236 location of this bullish trend. Majority bullish here as well. Nice tight compression on the Dow. That could be an indication that the Dow may lead us into this next rally here as well. Some of those larger mega cap blue chip names compressing really tightly right here inside of this demand location, and the upper supply location is a little bit, it's got a decent move to be able to get to that area there as well. If we take a look at what that is percentage wise, it's 3, 4, 5%. That's a decent move in the Dow if we were to push up to that upper range right there as well. Let's take a look at the triple Qs. We are in the supply block here. Majority bullish. Nice, approaching all-time highs. You can see those all-time highs are in the corner over here. Then this just a crazy move that we've really experienced right here, and we're back to where we started the last just a couple of months ago. Triple Q's still sitting, nice consolidation as well as the rest of the market. IWM, Russell 2000, also holding 618 retracement of the bearish trend, compression with majority bearish at 17. This is that compression when we go from expanded to compression in trend. We're going from really oversold back to a more sustainable move. But if we're in a solid downtrend and we compress and that ultimately fades, 618 rejects it and we start to push back lower again on small caps, that's a scenario right here as well. But this compression is a decision point. It can also hold and then start to flip us back to the upside like we've seen on all the other indices. Small caps just not participating as much. We'll see if those catch up or if the market retraces. Oil USO, we're looking at this current playground range of that's a pretty decent gap higher right here this morning, 70, and so we're back to the upper end of that range. So we've held the support at that 66. Now we're testing that 70 range. So a little counter trend bullishness. See if we can take another move higher and hold this level. That's going to be bullish for oil. We've already held this 60 range now for a significant amount of time. We're still majority bearish on the weekly time frame, but that's just really ugly as far as the trend, just because there hasn't been one. It's just a lot of sideways consolidation action for a long time in oil. We'll see if we get any more bullishness there, but that's a decent start for some bullishness on oil for the day. Gold, GLD, we're looking at another move higher, 309. Let me grab this swing low point here, and we're still above the 236 and gapping back to where we were. So we'd pulled back here right around that 299, 300 range. Looks like we're going to open around that 300 area. So more bullishness for gold as it's had a little bit of consolidation here, which is good. We want that. That weekly time frame very well extended. And this may be the norm for gold unless we really see some ugly economic issues coming out. But that bullish uptrend is still solidly intact. It's just how long are we going to consolidate? And could we retrace all the way back to 280 before we ultimately bounce and retest and make an attempt to some of those all-time highs? That's yet to be determined, but the daily time frame still bullish, bouncing, doing what it's supposed to do inside of a momentum trade, and that is holding that upper end of that range and getting a move higher at 309 today. Silver, let's take a look there, also gapping at 30. Majority bullish at 13 and 14. So silver is certainly one to be watching. If you are a commodities investor, silver looks quite bullish here before the breakout, the consolidation, and we'll see what we get in silver. Dollar weakening as well, as we're seeing, it's that inverse relationship between dollar weakening and gold strengthening, and keep an eye on those for the day. A couple stock ideas also to look at: SFM, Sprouts Farmer, nice confirmation bar, increased volume. We're also seeing PLTR, Palantir, which is a big name in AI, really getting a solid confirmation bar and it's still in momentum and increased volume. If we take a look at this on the weekly time frame, kind of see what our bigger picture is on Palantir, you can see we're at the all-time highs, upper end of this range. But this stock, it's they are getting some really big government contracts. There's a really opportunity for a ton of money to come into this name. It's already extended, but could certainly continue that overall momentum. Keep your eye on that one if that's one that you are interested in. They are certainly a massive player now in AI. And now getting even getting more integration with government spending. A couple ideas for you today. That'll do it for today's update. Everyone have a fantastic day today.